Hi guys, it's Miss Kerwin. I'm going to show you some of the volume problems that you will see this week. So the first one you'll see says a rectangular fish tank measures 7 centimeters by 30 centimeters and is filled with water to a depth of 10 centimeters. So our question here would say, what is the volume of this container? And I heard my 3 different types of measurements. You know that for volume, our formula is always volume equals length times width times height. And if I look at what I was just given, I was given 3 measurements, like a length, a width, and a height, which is the same thing as a depth. So all I need to do now is plug in my numbers. So I'll actually write them right underneath. And I'll take the time to do 7 times 30 times 10. And now I need to multiply all these numbers together. Usually we do not use a calculator, and it's actually fine because we have some numbers that are even tens, which makes the facts really easy. I know from like September that I can just do 7 times 3 and then tack on that 0. So I'm going to say, okay, 7 times 3, I know that. That's 21. And then when I tack on my 0, I have 210. Now all I need to do is copy down everything else I haven't used yet, which is the times 10. So again, this is easier than it looks because I can just say, well, what's 21 times 1? And then tack on 2 zeros this time. So 21 times 1 is 21. And then I have to add my 2 zeros. Now, there's 2 different types of questions that they could ask for this problem. If they just ask the volume, that's easy. We would say 21,000 cubic centimeters, and we write that like centimeters with a little 3 as our exponent. Sorry. But if this is talking about water, it might ask us, how many milliliters is this? Now, one thing that we learned this week is this fact. 1 cubic centimeter always equals 1 milliliter. So guys, this is like one of the easiest things that we do in 5th grade, because if 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter, well, that means that if I had 2,100 cubic centimeters, well, that's going to be the same as 2,100 milliliters. It's exactly the same because 1 equals 1, so 2,100 equals 2,100. Let's try a different type of problem. This time we were given a little prism here. Isn't he cute? So I see my dimensions, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 8 centimeters. The first thing it asks is find the volume. Sweet, we can do that. I'm going to write my formula like I always do. Length times width times height. Try to make it a little bigger, and now I'm just going to plug in my values. So I have 3 times 3 times 8. I'm going to try to make those so they line up right underneath the different dimensions. Okay, now I just need to solve it. This is nice and easy. I'll start with 3 times 3. And I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So then I'm just going to copy down anything I haven't used yet, which is the times 8. And again, guys, this is just a math fact that you need to know. You might know your 9s, or you might need to use a multiplication chart like in the back of your planner. That's completely fine. And 7 times 8 is 72. And this time it's centimeters again, so I'm going to write centimeters cubed and put that little 3 up in the air. This is nothing new. We've done this before. But now we have this different question that says, well, can we fit 70 milliliters of water into this prism? Well, do you remember our conversion fact? That's like the easiest thing ever. 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter. So if I know that this holds 72 cubic centimeters, then I also know that this prism holds 72 milliliters. So if this holds 72 milliliters, can I fit 70 milliliters inside there? Yeah, because 70 is less than 72. So my answer here would be yes, we can fit 70 milliliters in there, just barely. We only have 2 milliliters to spare. Let's try one more. Now I say Max has 50 milliliters of water. Can he fit all of that water into this container? Well, guys, again, we just need to know. You might originally be like, wait, milliliters, I'm working with centimeters. But we know that 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter. So if I just find out how many cubic centimeters this holds by using my volume formula, then I will know how many milliliters it holds because it means the same thing. So let's find out our volume. I'm going to plug in my dimensions. It doesn't really matter which one comes first, second, or third, but I'm going to do it like that. And now let's go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to say, okay, I'll do my first piece. What's 4 times 5? It's 20. And then I'm just going to copy down everything else that we haven't used yet. So I have 20 times 2. Now this might look like a tougher problem, and you can always stack it up, but I can do our shortcut of 2 times 2 and then tack a 0 on the back. So I know 2 times 2 is 4, and if I tack a 0 on the back, it would be 40. So I know that this volume of this shape is 40 cubic centimeters. Well, that's the same thing as saying 40 milliliters, because I know 1 cubic centimeter is the same thing as 1 milliliter. So now I have to think about my question. It says he has 50 milliliters of water. Will that fit into this container? No, this container only holds 40 milliliters. So he'll have 10 extra milliliters that he cannot fit in there. So my answer would be no, he cannot fit 50 milliliters into this container. Email me if you have any more questions.